What up, everybody? It's your boy PTK BLAM back on this beautiful hot-ass Saturday afternoon here where I'm at for another episode of the Shop Podcast. I want to say thank everybody for coming out, watching us live here. We got some great topics lined up, got some great gamers lined up. Also, too, appreciate you guys rocking out with us. The live chat will be enabled, so like I do as always every Saturday, I let everybody know. Please put your questions down in the chat. Thank you for coming. Got some great gamers here. Going to let them go around the panel and introduce themselves. We're going to go ahead and start out with our special guest, even though he said he didn't feel very special or he's not as special as he thinks. Got a great guy here, Mistermegative from the Super Deformed Podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
How you doing, man? My name is, well, on Twitter, it's Mistermegative, but you guys and everybody in chat can just call me John. So I am the creator and one of the co-hosts of the Super Deformed Gamescast, which goes live every Thursday at 9 p.m. We have representation from all consoles. Most of it, I mean, we got PS4 guys, we got Xbox, we got Wii U, we got PC gamers. All of us have multiple handhelds, and all points of view are represented. We have a motto. We say, we don't play consoles. We play games. So please, by all means, drop by, check us out. Sometimes we do giveaways. We've been kind of getting some big guests on recently, and we would appreciate it if you went to our YouTube page. It's just youtube.com/superdeformedgamescast. Please hit that subscribe button. We always appreciate it, and you can also check out our website, superdeformedgamescast.com, where you'll find reviews and commentary and stuff like that. So very, very happy to be here. I really like what you're doing, PTK, and just thrilled to be on.
For sure. All right, great to have you, man. Great to have you. So we go ahead and go to some of our usuals. My right-hand man, GKB, go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
What's up, everyone? It's GKB from Gamers Knows Best. Always great to be on the Shop Podcast with my bros. Big shout-out to the community and She-Wolf. Ready to talk some games, brother.
For sure. And we got Mr. H2O Predator. Go ahead and give yourself a shout-out also, brother.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I jumped in here a little late, so I'm a little behind the curve right now, but I will catch up and get it talking about some games today, so let's get it on.
For sure, and we got Mr. Energy himself, Livewire, in here, so go ahead and give yourself a shout-out, Livewire.
Oh, yeah, it's your boy Livewire. I'm a little amped today. I'm a little up, down, you know. I just got finished watching Ninja Turtles, so I'm a little hyped.
Oh, yeah.
All right, for sure. So let's go ahead and dive right into it, fellas. So, it's been a little bit of a slow week, but, E3 is right around the corner, and I'm hype. I know everybody can feel it. It's the buzz. You can feel it. It's definitely coming to fruition. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So I want to talk about E3 a little bit. So I want to go around the panel and ask you guys a lot of people have been doing prediction videos, and I want to get you guys predictions on E3. Not necessarily like who's going to win E3, because ultimately everybody's there. And whatever they show off is usually going to be successful regardless. But just what are some of your things maybe for PlayStation, for what we're going to see from Nintendo, what we're going to see from Xbox, just some predictions, and maybe some hopefuls also thrown in there. So we'll go ahead and start with Mr. Megative, our special guest here. What are some of your predictions from E3? Doesn't necessarily have to be from everybody, but just maybe some general predictions.
Sure, man, you put me on the spot. Okay, so we've talked about this on our podcast a couple times. I think from PlayStation 1, I think you're going to see. I honest to God, I think God of War 4 closes the show out. I think a teaser from God of War 4 is what you're going to see at the end. A lot of people have been saying you'll see The Last of Us 2. I don't think it's time for that yet. I don't think that's ready. I think you're going to see Crash Bandicoot. I think with if you haven't played Uncharted 4, then you don't know, but there's a huge Crash Bandicoot Easter egg both at the beginning and at the end of the game, and I think with all the rumors we've been hearing about that game over the years, I think the writing's on the wall. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive. I think it might be a timed exclusive, just because Activision actually, and a lot of people don't know this, Activision actually owns that IP. It is not a Sony-owned IP. So now, having said that, they could work out some exclusivity deal, but I mean, who knows? I don't like third-party exclusivity. I think the more gamers that can play games, the better. But I think you're going to see that. I also think you're going to see Red Dead Redemption 2 in some form. I don't know who's going to present it. Bethesda's doing their own conference, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, yeah, or not Bethesda. Rockstar, are they doing their own deal this year?
No.
Okay,
I don't
well,
think Rockstar, yeah.
Okay, well in that case, I'm not sure. I mean, whether or not you see it at Sony or Microsoft show, but I think that's irrelevant. But I do think you're going to see Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'll give you one more. I think you are probably going to get a 2017 release date for Horizon Zero Dawn, and I think you're going to get an October release date for The Last Guardian.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Great predictions. Okay, GKB, let's go ahead and roll with you, brother. Some predictions. I know you just did a video, which I did watch, by the way, brother.
Thanks,
great
bro.
video, man. I did watch it. So go ahead and give me some of those predictions for anybody who didn't watch your video.
Yeah, I'll start with Nintendo. We're definitely going to see a lot of Zelda. They also, some articles out that they're going to show a few more things. I think they're going to show some more DS stuff. I'm kind of excited a little bit about Nintendo. I was kind of bummed, but, they always bring something to show, so I'm kind of excited about that. Sony, I think we're going to see, the VR. Yeah, we're going to see hardware, whether it be the PS4 Neo or something else. I think, Megative was right with God of War. They're definitely going to show a teaser of that. I don't know, like, The Last of Us 2, I could see them doing some kind of, like, just the title up on or something like that just to get everybody hype. I mean, that's always fun,
So, GKB, I don't want to interrupt you, but I will say this. There was a guy on GAF who's a very well-known dev. I don't know who he works for, but he's vetted. He said that Sony's mentality this year is, you know what, fuck it. If we got it, show it. So who knows? You may be right.
Yeah. I mean, and that's cool, man. They got a lot of good stuff, they should show it. As far as Xbox, man, we're probably going to see... I was saying this on the show, like they have those two streaming devices. I don't think that's going to be on the keynote itself. I think, that's probably going to be like a daily show kind of thing, just to show it. I think they're going to show us a bunch of new features. I'm really looking forward to Cortana. I'm really excited for Recall. Everybody knows that. It's like one of my most anticipated games. I want to see what that's all about. That robot dog just got me every time, so. Yeah, yeah, that's about it, man. That's what I'm excited for, man.
All right, for sure. Predator, so with you, man, some predictions for E3, brother.
I actually did a video predictions and stuff that I did not want to see at E3.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good,
bro. I like the crap out of it, bro.
I really can't add more than what Mega and GKB just said. I mean, I think from Sony, that we'll see God of War. I think we might see Rise of the Tomb Raider, since I think that's due out for Sony this year.
Yeah, I can see
December. They're going to show Detroit. That's another game that no one mentioned. I think they showed it, the little thing a couple of earlier this year. Obviously, The Last Guardian and then PSVR. Nintendo's just going to show Zelda and maybe some DS games. And that's it. Maybe we might get a sneak peek of what the NX looks like, but that's about it. As far as Microsoft goes, I think I think everybody on this panel pretty much knows what they're showing. It's what we don't know, which is the issue, because we know we're going to get Gears, we know we're going to get Sea of Thieves and Recore, and we might get Scalebound. And in my video, I kind of talked about they showed a lot of stuff last year that we're going to see this year. So I don't think it will be surprised. I think last year, they had, they said they had a lot of games to show, and they ended up having a whole separate event last year, I think in October. I may be wrong about that date, but I think they're going to pretty much put all cards out on the table as well and to show what they have coming out, within the next year from July forward till July of 2017, going into next E3. And I think the only thing that no one's mentioned that we may see Battletoads. I think I've seen enough about them hinting at it, over the past several years.
Yeah, putting him in Killer Instinct also too as a playable character.
Yeah, so I think we might get some Battletoads, and we might get Halo Wars 2, and maybe a teaser of another franchise that's already like a Microsoft-owned franchise. Like maybe they may end with what the hell is that, Conquer or something like that. But that's about it. I don't think we're gonna get any huge surprises outside of the hardware part of it.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, it's funny nobody mentioned hardware.
Yeah, hardware is going to be something that they definitely... No, GKB actually did mention the hardware.
Did he? I must have missed it.
Yeah, he did say
Honestly,
that.
I don't like talking about it like hardware that much.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, so
it's been talked to death. I mean,
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. Man, good point. So live, it's on you, brother. What you think we're gonna see?
Well, for Sony, to be honest, I don't think Sony's gonna show as much VR as people think they are. I think they're gonna show about 15 minutes of it, and then maybe another 5 to 10 minutes of the Neo.
I agree.
Because there's not much you could really show with VR. They'll probably show some of the stuff that we haven't seen. Like, they're not going to show rigs again. I mean, unless they do, like, a live stage. You know what? Never mind. Scratch that. Because they did do, like, 30 minutes of Little Big Planet on stage one time. So, I don't know. But maybe they'll show rigs. I don't know. I wouldn't find that to be ideal. To me, it makes more sense that they show something we've never seen before. As far as VR, maybe like more of a simulator, because to me that's what VR shines. It's like putting you in another world and letting you look around it more so than really running around. Because you running around just looks crazy.
See, here's the problem. I mean, I say this as a Sony guy. I mean, VR just does not present well on stage. There's no real effective way, because I mean, they did it at PSX last year, and they look like a bunch of dopes. Waving the glowy, dildos around.
No. That's why I think they're just gonna stand up there with a controller, no dongles, none of that shit. I think they're gonna stand up there with a controller and just look around. Because I don't. It's just.
It's like immersive technology. So you have to.
I mean, like, it sounds cool to be like, yo, I can run around in the real world, but when somebody looks at you doing that, you be like, man, look at this stupid ass.
So like I told people, like I'm gonna pick up PSVR. I'm really, really interested in the tech, and everybody who's used it has said it's really cool. And I also think it's really cool about apparently there's rumors going around that the next the iterative console that Xbox or the Microsoft is going to put out will have some kind of Oculus functionality. I think it'd be crazy not to. I think that's really cool. My concern with PSVR is, I'm really excited for it, but I don't want to play it with my friends because, the minute you put that thing on, somebody's nutsack is going to be dangling in front of your face.
You got to be careful with that. So yeah, definitely.
It'll be like you try to blackmail your ass. Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, you talking that shit. Remember this picture? No, you motherfucker, you.
For sure. So I mean, I don't know. From my predictions of E3, I actually was gonna make a video about this. Actually today, I didn't get around to making it, but I was gonna do a video about it. But from PlayStation, I think you guys have kind of pretty much hit the nail on the head as far as what we're probably gonna see. Maybe a little bit of VR. I'm fully expecting them to show God of War or like something from God of War because it's just about time that they pulled out Kratos. They got to do something with him at this point. And I fully expect to see something from that. Last of Us 2, I think Mega hit the nail on the head. I don't really feel like it's time for Last of Us, if that's correct. I'm kind of with him on that also. But from Microsoft, Recore, Sea of Thieves, hopefully we actually see some gameplay. Probably some continued gameplay from Scalebound, but really from Microsoft is going to be what we don't know about, which Predator alluded to earlier. That's going to be what gets everybody riled up. So we pretty much know the games we're going to be seeing, unless they got 3 or 4 other games that we have no idea they've been developing. But I don't really expect.
I just want to know what Recore is. I mean, nobody knows what this game is.
Well,
I mean, the aesthetic looks really cool. It is a really cool. I mean, I just love the art design. But
it's a third party. Well, just from the information that I've had, it's definitely a AAA. It's more of like an open world third person game. Just from the like a art, like it has elements. It has
like a light one.
Yeah, so it has action RPG type elements, third person. This is just what I'm hearing.
It's got like a leveling system and stuff like that.
Possibly, I haven't heard anything like that, like any great details. Just from what I've heard, I don't know how accurate this is, but that's just what I know. For a fact, it's a full AAA though. Because I was worried when they first showed it that it was just gonna be some like single AA game or something, because there was really nothing to base it off of. But I was worried initially, but those have been like quelled as of late. Just from hearing other things from other people about that, it really is a full AAA game. So
hey, guys, am I botting?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that mic may have switched up on you again, possibly. But yeah, Recore, Sea of Thieves. Obviously, I think Rare's going to make a. I think it's time for Rare to get back to what they do best, and I think this is what they do best: is a game like Sea of Thieves. I mean, we've never had like an open world pirate game. We get the GTA, we get all those types of games, but pirates, water, islands. I think it's just a cool, neat idea, and that's what Rare does. And I'm sure it's going to be fun because that's what they do. That's what they're all about. We'll definitely see some hardware stuff. Like they said earlier, I'm not really big into the hardware. Whatever we see. We don't. But I think that's about what we're going to see. Maybe some big surprise at the end. I don't know what it could possibly be. I mean, like you said, Paul said earlier, maybe it could be maybe one of Microsoft's old IPs and they're rebooting it, or it could be maybe like a third-person exclusive, possibly, something like that. But so let's go ahead and
do a lot of release dates for those indies that we heard about, like
yes, Cuphead, Ashen.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna hear, like a lot of those.
Yeah, we'll hear some. Yeah, because those have been flying. Those are really, really good indies at this point. I mean, we've been waiting on that. Ashen Below is definitely one of the big ones. Below for sure. Shout out to Mooch because he's gonna put tons of hours into that. Go ahead.
Do you guys know what I would really like to see from both Sony and Microsoft?
What?
From Microsoft, I would love to see Perfect Dark in some
form. Oh, don't even get me started.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And from Sony, you know what? Since you've got Kojima working for you now, why not do Siphon Filter?
Oh goodness, that's another one. We've talked about that, I would
love to see new franchises make a comeback because if you think about it, classic franchises are making a comeback this generation. We once again live in a generation where Wolfenstein and Doom are the two best first-person shooters available on any console, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if he would do it though. Because he seems like more of a dude that wants to kind of like build his own thing versus like build on to somebody else's.
Oh, and that's another thing. I think we're going to see a hint of Kojima's game. I think we're going to see a trailer or something. Right. Yeah.
Trailer or something.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Maybe Shuhei will finally let me change my PSN name. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, I think that'll be there.
For the love of God, come on. Just find. We were having trouble. No. Just find a way to make it happen. Come on.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous that we can't.
Yeah, I think it's about time that you guys get that at least that feature.
I just want to be Mistermegative on PSN. Damn it.
Someone will take it.
Someone
I know, right? Yeah, somebody's
hold it ransom.
Yeah.
Charge you $30 for it in a PSN Live card or PSN card.
Don't give anybody any ideas.
No, but for sure. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. And this is something that we were kind of talking about in a chat that happens before the show started. That happens frequently, but we don't really touch on it because, for the most part, it's the internet. And obviously, things fade away over time. Things happen so fast. And everybody has a voice and opinion on the internet. But I kind of wanted to dive in this a little bit. And this may be kind of a touchy subject because, like we were talking earlier, me and Mega and some of the other guys in here, we have people that we know on both sides of the fence. So it can be a little touchy. But I wanted to go over just like the harassment of like devs and as far as like in the gaming community where you get something happens or a game doesn't necessarily work out the way people thought it, or it's not on the console people wanted it, or just any little thing. Maybe the price is $20 more than everybody wanted and they get these harassments and different things like that. I kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and start with GKB on this one. How do you feel about that in the gaming community? Do you feel like it's stymieing the gaming community and making devs like kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of holding back about as being personable, with these social media and different things like that? Do you feel like that's hurting the gaming community?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you start threatening people and doing that to anyone, no matter who it is, I think it's absolutely appalling, man. It needs to stop, honestly. Death threats and all that kind of stuff, it's just not needed, man. These are video games. I mean, it's, for lack of a better term, I mean, it's like toys at the end of the day, honestly. I know we get really passionate and stuff like that, but with social media these days and all that kind of stuff, man, everything's out in the open. We just need to treat people better, man. It's unacceptable, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's very detrimental, man, to the community. On both sides.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So let's go ahead and get your opinion on that, Pred.
I don't go to other I'm an Xbox guy. I don't go to other Sony sites and troll their comment section and their pages and stuff like that when they're doing live podcasts. So I don't understand the motivation for people to do that kind of shit. And it's like it's sad. I mean, we were just discussing this right before this podcast started about this one guy posting the shit he just did on the internet. You know, it's like, and I don't know who these people are, how old they are, you know, what kind of ball sacks they have, where they think that they can do this behind a computer screen. And, you know, these little keyboard warriors knowing damn well they would not say this shit to someone's face if they were in front of them. So it's you know, it's stupid. You know, it's childish and it's stupid. It's fine that you have your own preference of console, but some of these people take it entirely too far. Who was it that got threatened recently? Was it the guy from No Man's Sky?
Yeah, the No Man's Sky.
Yeah, Sean Murray. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, seriously, dude. I mean, like, first, I mean, it's like you can get arrested for that shit, for starters. You know, if someone really wanted to find out who you are, they're gonna find out who wrote that and blast you. You know, but I mean, it's childish. I mean, I don't understand. I won't say it's damaging the community because the only people that see that are us mainstreamers. You know, like YouTubers and people that are on Twitter that are following stuff on a daily basis. But you know, the average Joe doesn't know who Sean Murray is. You know, and how that affects. You know, like when people threaten the lady that did Rise of the Tomb Raider. You know, like most people don't see that. You know, they don't. It's not like a headline thing on CNN. You know. We see it because it's in our Twitter feed, but most people don't see it. So it's not damaging everybody else, but it does. Like, you know, we see it and it looks stupid. You know, it's like, so I mean, it is childish. I really wish people. I mean, you want to get in chat and talk trash about, you know, your console. I can actually deal with that, your preference of console. But like when you take it to that level, that's a bit extreme.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? And before I move on to anybody else, I'm not saying that it's not okay to have these debates and go back and forth. It's fun. It's just like it's Apple, there's Android, there's Chevy, there's Ford. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always going to be this back and forth between the community, and that actually keeps the community healthy. It's actually healthy for the community.
For sure, but there's still that line you cannot.
Yeah, there's a line. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. There's definitely a line. And you know, as I feel like these gentlemen here on the panel, I don't want to say we have a responsibility, but you know, people do listen to the podcast. They tune in. They see our tweets. You know, they do all these types of things, and I feel like maybe we could be the group to kind of change that, and you know, just in a way, not on some like rah type shit. Just just be more positive in general. You know what I'm saying? We typically try and keep it just straight gaming. I know we all are. I'm not speaking for anybody here, but you know, it's just I think it's something that as a community we should maybe take a step back and look at, especially people that maybe are a little bit, not I want to say ahead, but just have subscribers and things like that, and, have YouTube channels and people watch them, take that information and talk about it. So I just feel like that may be something that need to be addressed just a little bit. We're not getting paid for this or anything. It's mostly just fun. It's the internet. The people say what they want. I just feel like the more positivity, the better. Go ahead.
Hold on, let me add one more thing to that. If these people are so hardcore about their console, instead of coming in this channel or Crap's channel or Mooch's channel, and it's like this talking all this shit, be a man, go make your own fucking channel. Get off everybody else's shit.
That's true. That's an option. We all have the internet. So I believe we all have the ability to go make a YouTube video or channel. Go ahead, Mega.
Here's my thing. You don't have to look very far on either side of the aisle to find just blatant, rampant fanboyism. I mean, there are Sony fanboys and there are Microsoft fanboys, and both are equally terrible. I mean, as a PlayStation guy myself, I've received criticism from the Sony side for saying there's nothing wrong with having an Xbox. It's a great console. I hope it sells well. And on the other side, I mean, I've had my patriotism called into question because I bought a Japanese console, which is ridiculous because if you guys see what I got hanging on the wall behind me, I mean, I'm a U.S. Marine. I've been wounded in combat, and I've sent rounds downrange. I've fought for my country on 2 different theaters of war 7 different times. So anybody who wants to question my patriotism over my choice of console is welcome to step in the ring with me any day of the week. And that's all I'll say about that. Don't ever question my patriotism.
Yeah.
I've shed blood for my country, and I guarantee you that anybody who questions that hasn't. On the flip side, just like I was saying before we went live, there's a thread that ties this all together. Whether or not you're a fanboy, whether or not you're middle of the road, no matter what console you prefer, and you can prefer a console and remain objective. It's possible. I do it every day. If this hobby of ours was to disappear tomorrow, we would all be in the same boat. Everybody. We would all be without games to play. So one day we need to put our swords down, realize that we're all cut from the same cloth. We're all gamers, and we should take joy in the successes of every console, and we should all mourn the failures of every console, because it's all going towards one thing. We're all playing video games, and we should all celebrate. I celebrate video games, and it kills me that not everybody does.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of the way I see it. I'm just
saying. Good point. And looks like Enrique is
just
popped in here. What's up, brother?
Yeah. PTK, gentlemen, what's going on? How are you guys doing today?
What's up, Enrique?
What's going on? So Mr. Enrique has also joined us. He was just on the last podcast also too. So Enrique, we were just talking about the gaming community and more positivity, and also I want to do one thing also too before I move any further. A huge shout out. I can't speak for any other community, but I know more recently in the Xbox community, I want to clap it up because it's been a lot of positive information, a lot of positivity just going around in the community as of late. I really appreciate that. I feel it from. I think it's really E3. Everybody's hyped up, but I just love seeing everybody excited about games, excited about this hobby that we all enjoy. So kudos to people in the Xbox community who've been doing a great job of just keeping it positive. Let's talk about these games and some of the stuff, these cool features and things that we're going to get to experience. So I think Live was next in the lineup. So Live, what is your opinion on what we've been talking about?
I mean, like you said earlier, I think debate is healthy, but it's just a line that shouldn't be crossed. And I think a lot of times, I don't understand where it is that a person's mindset is that they feel like when you're debating somebody to get the one up is to, throw racial slurs or sexually harass people by telling them that they need to suck this and that or grow a vagina so I can have sex with you. Like what the fuck is
what? Jesus Christ!
I mean, this is what people do, and as an Xbox dude, I only see the one side, because I'm pretty sure there's Xbox dudes that go out there and they might put people's faces on stuff and do all the stuff that we see the PlayStation guys do to us, but we just don't see that from the other side, I mean, and I think. That's why I brought up some of these topics, because I think a lot of times we always say it's fucking them instead of saying, you know what, it's not just them, it's probably on both sides. Because if we're seeing it on this side, more than likely, maybe not those guys who are doing it to us, but other guys similar to us on the PlayStation side are seeing insane Xbox dudes just harass them for whatever reason.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's just 100% sure that's going on also. So we know it. We throw stones. Everybody throws stones. It's going back and forth. So let's go ahead and get your opinion also, Enrique, about this topic. I don't want to get too much deep into it. We're going to get back into some fun shit here pretty soon, but I want to go ahead and get your opinion.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I was enjoying my beer. What was the topic again?
Nah, you good, brother. You good. Just about the gaming community. Just more positive.
Yeah.
Positive energy going around, and how people are threatening these developers and making fun of each other and all kind of crazy stuff that's not game related or not really beneficial to anybody. But like I said before, we're talking about this from the perspective that it is the internet. So we all know where this is coming from. The internet is a crazy fucking place. So I just wanted to get your opinion on that before we move on to the other subject.
Well, yeah. Well, first and foremost, it's a terrible thing when gamers start issuing death threats and to developers, like what happened with No Man's Sky recently. That's terrible. It makes the industry look bad. It gives, for the people that are looking outside at gamers, it kind of lumps us all into this stereotype that gamers don't have any lives and they're a bunch of fanboys and they're passionate and they get worked up over stuff, or get worked up over plastic boxes. No, not all of us are like that. The majority of gamers aren't fanboys. We're just fans of games or gaming in general. And I heard someone say something about I think Tomb Raider earlier. I mean, that was terrible too. Another example of death threats, rape threats to the voice actress who plays Lara Croft. I mean, stuff like that's just unacceptable. I think live. I think you said people get like keyboard courage. They just kind of type what they want, and that's true. They do, because there's no accountability for the words that they're putting out on the internet, because who's going to stop him from doing that? Anybody can sit behind a keyboard on a laptop or desktop and flex their muscles, and not have any consequences for their actions. And that's the unfortunate part of the digital world we live in today. But it's not acceptable. And the fanboy stuff, I've seen it on both sides. I don't get it. Gaming is, at the end of the day, should be something that's enjoyable, something that we as fans hold sacred and just enjoy doing, because it's really, at the end of the day, about entertainment and having fun, and it's not, to me, it's just not worth getting, all worked up over something that is made for the purpose of entertainment. I don't see people fighting over movies like this or other forms of entertainment.
You know what I mean? Star Wars.
Star Wars and what's the other one?
Well, Star Wars is Star Trek, yeah. So maybe, yeah. So they do, but I mean, at the end of the day, look, we all have our our consoles of choice, and I talk to guys that are Xbox guys, I talk to guys that are PC guys and PlayStation guys, and a lot of them are just just fans of gaming. And
what about the Ouya guys? Enrique.
The Ouya guys, the Ouya guys you got to watch out for, because they love to troll, But look, all joking aside, I mean, it's just, gaming's supposed to be about fun, and I never understand. I blocked a lot of people who've said some crazy stuff to me, and we've all seen the photoshopping of people's heads and the racial comments.
Hey, look,
some of that shit is funny though.
It's funny. I'm not gonna lie. People got some talents with that Photoshop, man. I'm telling you, they need to put that to productive use. But yeah, I feel you, Enrique.
If someone's gonna
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if someone's gonna Photoshop me, please Photoshop me with Warrior Ward's body. That's all I want.
Warrior Ward 2, the gym rat, man. That's what we call.
Hey, you know what? Enrique, some of us don't need to be photoshopped.
Oh God, here we go.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, no guns during the stream, man. No guns during the live show.
Hey, John, do you have a permit for those guns?
Don't make me bring out the Christopher Walken dude. I'll do it.
Oh God, here we go. So let's go ahead and move on to more of a lighthearted topic. I know we touched on that. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because it doesn't get addressed that often. I mean, as gamers, I feel like it comes up enough. We kind of just let it slide most of the time. But yeah, I just wish everybody, we just have more fun with these games, and I think people are. Which is kind of the point of what's
talking. Can I make one more point? And I think this is something we all agree on. Everybody, this goes from people on either side of the fence. And fuck, I hate that saying. I wish there wasn't a fence. But this comes from people on either side of the fence. When people in the Sony camp, people in the Microsoft camp say, well, "This motherfucker's a fanboy." Anybody who says that, you're probably a fanboy yourself.
True.
Okay, so you need to take a long, hard look at yourself in the mirror and really think about your fucking life choices, man. It's a fucking video game. Dude, it's a video game. I don't get it. It's a fucking video game, dude. Chill. Jesus Christ. Who gives a shit? That's just
good point. Good point. I mean, good point. So let's go ahead and talk about this Nintendo NX. We were kind of talking about it before the show, and I've always kind of gone back to Nintendo, because I want to see what they have going on, and I've kind of harped on them a little bit more recently due to the fact that I don't know what they have going on, and I don't think they know what they have going on. It just feels like that. So I kind of want to get everybody's opinion on if this is something that they're going to do, if they're going to make this console, are we going to see this? Are we going to see a next Nintendo console after this? Is this something that you think they could survive if this console doesn't work out? Do you think Nintendo's just gonna say fuck it, let's go ahead and go straight to handhelds, or do you feel like they can still keep making these consoles and it makes sense for them? So I want to go ahead and get your opinion on this, GKB, first. What do you think? Can they? I mean, if this console doesn't necessarily work out, not saying it won't, because it may come out and blow the doors off everything. I don't know. But just from the information that you have, you feel like if this doesn't work out, you think they can continue this way?
As far as Nintendo, man, like if this one bombs, I really just see them going third party and just sticking with handheld. I don't really see them going to stay into the console market, honestly. Yeah, I don't see them doing anything else after this one, dude.
Okay, all right, no problem, no problem. What about you, Fred? What do you feel like Nintendo can push through this? I mean, if it doesn't work out, not saying it doesn't. I don't want to put any bad vibes out there because it may come out and kill everything that's out. So I'm not sure, but what do you feel like?
I'm pretty much with GKB, and pretty much I'm sure everybody else's panel is probably going to say the same thing. It's like, I think this is their last chance, and if they're going to come out with a weaker console, they might as well not even come out with it. I mean, how many units did the Wii U sell? And they're going to come out with another console that's weaker, and it's like it's this doesn't make any sense right now, And I think, we've discussed this in the past. Everyone's like, no, just go third party, just focus on mobile gaming and handheld gaming. You got that on lock, and take your franchises and spread them out over the two main consoles, and you guys and Nintendo will be fine. They'll probably be one of the best. They can be on the level of EA and Activision, all those other companies.
They'd be bigger.
Yeah, maybe even bigger.
Like with the games that they already have and the characters, they'd be way bigger.
I mean, they can't continue to just keep throwing out Mario and Zelda and and expect to push through and Splatoon is their new thing, and Pokemon. They have a lot of great exclusives, but it's on that console, and that's the problem. They're just on the Wii, or on the DS, and I mean, I know for a fact if that shit came out, if they went third party and they put Mario or Zelda on the Xbox One, or the PlayStation 4, or even on the fucking PC, I'd be all over that shit.
I think they should.
Everyone's saying I think they should too, but I mean they're stubborn. I think they're just trying to hang on to that old money, dude, and it's trying to just slow drip it out and try and make their way through until they hit that right console that actually sells again. But like we were talking about this before, it's like we older gamers, we remember Nintendo. These young kids, they don't know shit about Nintendo, man.
Nintendo saved console gaming.
Yeah, they might know about the Wii, the Wii. Was it the Wii with the nunchucks and shit like that? The first Wii. They remember that shit, but they grew out of that. Now they think it's childish. They're playing Call of Duty and shit like that.
That's what I tell people when when people point at Wii sales and they say, well, the Wii is the fastest selling console of all time. I say, okay, yeah, for 2 or 3 years, yes, but that console wasn't directed at us, the core gaming audience. I mean, which is one reason why the Wii U is in the position it is. One, because their marketing strategy was terrible. Nobody knew if it was a console or a fucking special controller. But two, that audience that picked up the Wii were soccer moms and grandmas wanting to play bowling and Candy Crush and when mobile happened, when you could get all these games on your tablet and when you could get them on your iPhone or your Kindle, that audience left. They migrated and they never came back. And in my opinion, it might be too late for Nintendo because I cannot believe that they are still going to come in to a new generation behind the power curve yet again. Yeah. I don't understand it. I think the NX is going to fail, and I think it's going to be Nintendo's last console. And I agree with GKB. Like I just don't. I don't think it's going to do anything, especially if you have new iterative hardware coming out from both Sony and Microsoft. It's going to look even less powerful in comparison.
But you know what, John? I mean, I even wonder if they care. I mean, they're already saying, "Hey, we're going to sell this console at a profit," and companies are in this business to make money.
If it doesn't sell.
And well, I mean, if they're making a profit, if they sell 100,000 units and they're saying we're making a profit of those 100,000, I mean, do they really care if they sold 100,000? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think in terms of power, I agree with John. I mean, this thing's going to come in. Well, I think it's going to come in probably around maybe Xbox One specs, maybe between PS4 based on the fact that they're saying, okay, we're going to make money off this thing already. So that probably puts them using PC parts from 2013.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I kind of agree with you guys. Like, if this thing doesn't sell well, or if it gets totally panned by the gaming community, this might be it for them. But then again, it's like, look how little the Wii U is sold. I believe it's still profitable for them.
It's still $2.99 on the shelves.
Yeah.
The price hasn't even went down on the damn thing. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I mean, with the NX, to me, I mean, it can be successful, but not as a standalone console. If the NX is more of a handheld than a console, and you're telling me that it's as powerful as the Xbox or somewhere around there, that makes a lot of sense to me then. Because now I'm looking at it as like, this is the most powerful handheld ever created. Some shit like that, right? And then you could just plug it into your TV, and then it also works more as a console as it's plugged in. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But the thing that would really put it over the top is if they made this handheld, it had Nintendo exclusives, but they also provided Nintendo exclusives to both Microsoft and Sony. So then that means that their games are on the Microsoft console, the Sony console, and on their Nintendo handheld that can be converted into a console. That makes a lot of sense to me.
So, here's the really crazy thing about the situation is that if the Nintendo, if Nintendo started focusing on third-party titles, like if they put out all their first-party titles on both Microsoft and Sony consoles, games like Mario Kart would outsell both Uncharted and Halo fucking easy.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it would. Yeah,
they would make so much goddamn money if they put their I mean, if you want to talk about a company making money or games selling, I guarantee you, games like Smash Brothers or Mario Kart would outsell every other PlayStation or Xbox exclusive there is if they went third party. Oh man, dude. I mean, can you believe it?
That's the problem with Nintendo. To us, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. We sit up here, we're talking about the NX. None of us actually know what the hell the console is going to do. Like, how it's going to be configured, if it's going to be a handheld, hybrid. Like, we don't even have an idea at this point. And it's supposed to drop next March. We don't have any idea.
I recently heard it might support VR too. I recently heard that.
Oh, no.
No way.
That's what I heard. That's a rumor going around right now.
That's
we were talking about that before the show. Same. He gave me that same face too, by the way, Enrique. Yeah, but no, but seriously,
They bring back the Virtua Boy.
They can do that.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, they'll have to sell a set of lens crafters glasses along with it. That shit so nice.
Yeah.
But seriously though,
astigmatism.
I feel like the greatest thing about they're like cutting their own feet off for absolutely no reason. The best thing about Nintendo are their first party titles, but they hold them so close to their chest that they don't provide a system that can actually utilize those titles to the full capacity. You got a game like Smash Brothers, but you don't have the infrastructure to really it's a big game. People love the shit on handheld, but you don't have why don't you have at this point an infrastructure for party invites and all these different things that are basic functions on these other consoles at this point? Like, how do you not have those features in place to let these games that are coming out now utilize those features?
Yeah.
Or if the console comes out, say it's like what Live was saying, say it's like a handheld, isn't that kind of going to defeat the purpose of you putting out a DS every 6 months? Like, are you not going to do DS anymore? Because I mean, if I have a 3D, I have my little 3DS. I'm seeing somebody play this handheld or hybrid handheld. The games are in 4K or whatever resolution. I'm on my little 3DS. I'm like, what the hell? Why? It's like, I don't want to play this 3DS anymore. Like, I want to play that. Like, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot. Like, I'm kind of working myself out of the market. It just seems like that wouldn't be that great of an idea. I mean, maybe it will work out. I just really need Nintendo to be focused. Like, they just seem to be all over the place, and I don't really get it, And I feel
have a question for the panel.
Go ahead.
Who do you think should or could actually come into the handheld market and challenge Nintendo in that division?
Nobody. No,
I don't see anybody.
That's like walking the plane.
I'll tell you what. Like there's already a king of the handheld market, and they're called Apple.
I was actually going to say that. I think
maybe Apple could challenge Nintendo.
No, they already have. Dude, it's called iPhone. And it's called the iPad. I mean, that is the reality of mobile gaming, or that's the that's the reality of handheld gaming. It's when the Vita failed. I love my Vita. I love my Vita. I can play all my PlayStation 1 classics on it. It's a fucking great system, and it's not selling for shit because people don't care about it. Because that's not. Because I love my Vita, but I'm kind of the fringe. I'm the outlier. Like most of the core gaming audience, when they come home, they're not going to sit down and play their Vita. They're not going to sit down and play their 3DS. They're going to play their PlayStation 4 or their Xbox One. That's just the way it is. And if you want to play more, people who want to play handheld games these days are playing them on tablets and phones. Honestly, I think nobody should be focusing on handheld, period. Nintendo, Microsoft, or so. That's why Microsoft played it smart, and they never got into the handheld business because when the Vita was announced, I was like, this is great. It's gonna flop.
John's like, I'm gonna buy it, but it's gonna flop.
I'm gonna buy it because I love gaming on the go, and I will never be a mobile gamer.
I had one. I had a PS Vita. It was fun, but just after a while, the thing is, when you buy something like that, it's good for when you're traveling. But once you stop traveling, you're not using it anymore. I'm not sitting around the house playing on my fucking Vita anymore. I have my console, So when I was on the road a lot, I used to play the fuck out of my Vita. But once I stopped traveling, it was useless to me, And
there's, it's like there's, I love indie titles. I love really good indie games, and there's a ton of really good games available on the Vita. I love horror games. Lone Survivor is a really good indie horror game. The Vita has a lot to offer, and the 3DS has a lot to offer. I mean, it's not a bad, it's a shit UI, and the Vita does, and that's one thing I feel like handheld gaming just hasn't mastered. Neither the Vita nor the 3DS have a great operating system. They just don't. It's just the way it is. But I mean, honestly, I think it's irrelevant. I think people are looking into the rumors of a hybrid console way too deeply.
Yeah. That's the funny thing is that I know. I think GKB. I remember a while back we did a podcast. You had mentioned some information you had found about Nintendo. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember it all, Paul? About like some specs or something like that was announced for Nintendo or some kind of leaked document. Do you remember that?
No, man, I really don't at this point.
Okay, no,
what did you say, Blam?
It was last year. No,
must have not been that important.
That was a while back.
I mean, it was probably like towards the end of last year. It was a cool little minute, or something like that, beginning of this year or something like that. But it's just I really feel like Nintendo just needs to focus and get it together. They have so much, this is the one thing, and I always praise Nintendo for this. Out of all of the big three, you can even throw in PC in this crowd. Out of Nintendo, out of Sony, Microsoft, the PC crowd, and Nintendo, they're the only one out of the three that when they make their games and they come out, they don't have a day one patch. They're not broken. You don't have to do anything. You can pop it in and the shit's gonna play. So they make quality games, and that's one thing I really respect about Nintendo. I just wish they had more games to play, and they were a little bit more focused as to what they're trying to do with this next console, if it's even going to be a console, because the shit could be all kind of crazy. It could be a pair of shoes and a stick. I don't know.
A pair of shoes. Hey, they have a pair of shoes out, those Vans with the old school NES controllers on them.
Look, you know what I'm talking about? Nah, but no, but seriously, though, I don't know. I really don't know. But we all here, not necessarily, we all here we love Nintendo at heart. All of us are a little older than a lot of the gamers out there, but we all had Nintendos growing up. Most of us, if not all of us, and we have this soft spot, but the soft spot's getting hard really fast.
Yeah,
I'm starting to not really care about what's going on with Nintendo.
That's a great point, PTK, because I've had people say, "Oh, you're Nintendo bashing." I'm like, no, I'm not Nintendo bashing. It's just that I have a soft spot for Nintendo because they save gaming. I mean, I'm old as shit. I remember when the industry died after the Atari, and Nintendo, they didn't. A lot of people don't notice they didn't market the they marketed the Nintendo Entertainment System as a toy as opposed to a console, which is the big reason why they included Rob the Robot and why they.
I'll tell you what, Enrique, go back and watch some of those old Nintendo commercials.
Yeah.
1987. Oh my lord.
Yeah, I mean, they did it on purpose because of what happened here in the U.S. with the console market crashing, and so when people say that to me, I'm like, no, I have a soft spot because they saved console gaming for so many years. They were a leader. I mean, go back and look at some of the games that came out on the NES. They were doing some things that were just at the time, revolutionary. Look at a game like Ninja Gaiden that had cinematics in the beginning, using sprites. I mean, that's something that hadn't been done ever. And it's for a lot of us, it's just nostalgia, but this love that we have for Nintendo. But then it's like, what are they doing? We hear about the NX, but then we hear that they're not going to show it at E3, and we're all scratching our heads. We don't know if they're going to have a robust online system, which they have to be successful, I think, in console gaming, because your two biggest competitors have it. They say they don't really compete with Sony and Microsoft. They do, because both those platforms are providing games.
There's actually a really interesting question in chat from Brutal Knight. He says, "Do you think the generation of old school Nintendo's nostalgia has kept them alive?" Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Because I mean, look at fucking like Mario Kart or Splatoon. Like Nintendo fans buy Nintendo games. I mean, which is why I say that if they went third party, Nintendo first party titles on other platforms would outsell any other first party exclusive. Period. And it doesn't matter what it is. Because the average age of your gamer today is, I'm 35. It's anywhere between 30 and 35, and we grew up with Nintendo games. I mean, back in the day, you didn't say, "Hey, come over to my house and play video games." You said, "Come over to my house and play Nintendo."
Yeah, play Nintendo.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They were it, and nobody even said. Here's the thing: nobody even said, "Let's come over and play Sega." Nobody said, "Come over and play Sega."
Eventually, I did.
I did with the Genesis. With the Sega Genesis, I did.
Genesis was garbage. Come on.
Oh, you're crazy, man. Come on.
Genesis is straight trash, man.
The Genesis.
Oh my god.
But in all seriousness,
Genesis had blast processing, man. Come on.
Whatever people hate on like, oh, you shouldn't buy Japanese. It's like, you understand, without Japan we wouldn't have video games, right? Like you understand that's truth. I mean, we wouldn't have them. They would be gone because Atari almost fucking killed them. It was an American company that almost fucking killed video games.
It was E.T.
I mean, come on.
He killed it.
Here.
It was.
They flooded the market.
Yeah, I actually know somebody who's got one of those old ET cartridges that was dug up out of the landfill. Those things fetch a high price, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, definitely on eBay. So looks like we're to the point of the show where we're gonna go ahead and start taking some questions here in the chat. Like I said before, I appreciate you guys rocking out. All these guys here have channels, have podcasts. Please go subscribe to them if you haven't already. Please do that for me. Thank you. But we're gonna go ahead and take a few quick questions. I want to go ahead and give a couple shout outs. A shout out Crap Gamer. He's in the chat, man. You need to hit me up, goddammit. Crap, and we got Adam Servo, Brutal Knight, Foxfire. We got She-Wolf, the first lady of gaming, as I call her. We got Crusader. He's also in here rocking out. Mod too. So I appreciate you guys. We're gonna go ahead and take some questions though. So you guys.
Oh shit, we got Predator up in there.
Yeah, Predator in there also too, sneaking around in the chat.
I mean the podcast.
Damn it. Yeah. So, so let's get a few questions in here. So anybody that has any questions, we're gonna take about 2 or 3 if we can, man, depending on how
I got one from Crap Gamer.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
He says, "Why does Sony continue to disappoint at E3, showing games that are years away from releasing?"
Well, okay, you know what? I don't want you to run too long, Mister, but go ahead and answer that question, brother.
Okay. Go ahead. Well, I mean, disappointment is relative. I mean, Bloodborne was announced in 2000, officially announced. I mean, it was rumored to have been around for a while, but Bloodborne was officially announced in 2014, and it was released in 2015, less than a year later. And I loved it. Bloodborne was probably my game of the year last year, but I'm also a big Souls fan. I'm a huge Souls guy. Anybody who knows that knows me. Really, it all depends. I mean, look at, you don't have to look very far to find games that are announced way too early. I mean, Scalebound was announced by Microsoft in 2014, and we're not seeing that until 2017. So, I mean, you get these things on either side of the aisle, and it's just one of those things. I mean, games get delayed. And these games are announced to build up hype. And it gets people hyped. I mean, it's all marketing.
Unless you're Bethesda.
Unless you're Bethesda, yeah. Do I wish that more games, and not just Sony, but I mean, do I wish that more games were announced and released much closer together? Yeah, I do. And I think Bethesda, like Enrique very rightly pointed out, was a really, really good example of that. I mean, they announced Fallout 4 last year at E3, and they said, by the way, we don't want you to wait very long, so it's coming out in November. I think that's admirable. I think it's something to be applauded. Now, having said that, it doesn't really bother me when games are delayed, because that just gives the developer more time to fix them. In most cases, sometimes a game is doomed from the beginning. Like The Order, for example, just wasn't a great game. Delays didn't help that game. It just wasn't. It was boring. It looked pretty, but it just wasn't very good. And on the other hand, you have Uncharted 4, which was delayed, several times, and it ended up being one of the best games this generation so far. Anyway, we've got a long way to go. But yeah, it just doesn't bother me. I mean, there are other games to play. There's always going to be other games to play. And yeah, I mean, when they're ready to come out, they'll come out, and that goes for any system, I guess, is my answer.
All right, great question, great answer. You can answer that definitely better than I could, so that's why. Glad I got you here, brother.
I'm glad to be here, man.
Yeah, we gonna go ahead and take another question. We got Mrs. She-Wolf, the unofficial secretary of every podcast over here. So we're gonna go ahead and answer her question. She has a good one. With E3 around the corner, do you think that things have been leaked so much that the hype is not as strong as we would all like it to be, knowing so much as we do? Now, this is I'll start with with that question. This is something that companies don't like. Like, they don't like things being leaked, and sometimes they will leak things themselves. Kind of like Slick, kind of like Sly. They'll leak shit here and there. But specifically, we've always, especially, I want to say, which E3 was that where we got all types of information, which kind of killed. I think it was like 2014, I think it was, where there was like some big leak beforehand for Microsoft or somebody. We got a bunch of news, and it kind of killed some of the things we were actually going to see. But sometimes it can be detrimental. Most time it's detrimental because a lot of times it's bullshit. And people get their hopes up, and then they actually see the event, and they don't see what they were thinking that they were going to see. And so there comes this thing, the sense of disappointment. So that's a lot of times it's usually detrimental. But I'm gonna go ahead and around the panel let everybody answer that. GKB, what do you think about that question that she will put as far as like leaks being detrimental, and do you think that kind of kills the vibe sometime around E3?
Yeah, I think with leaks in general and stuff like that, the ones that are like complete bullshit, they get people that false sense of hope and stuff, and we say this all the time, like keep your expectations in check because some of this stuff just might not be real. But at the other hand, we keep talking about like these leaks and this, that, and the other. We're all really close to the industry. We do podcasts all the time, talking about the news all the time, and the general person and general gamer doesn't really know any of this stuff, honestly. Yeah. So when they go see E3 streaming or all that stuff, they're like, oh my god, check that out, and we've known for months now that was coming. So I mean, it's both sides, man. Like, I mean, I wish we can go like a whole year of not hearing anything and then be wowed at E3, but that's just not gonna happen, man.
Yeah, it's just not the way social media and everything like that is. Yeah. It's not gonna happen. So, Pred, what's your opinion on that? Leaks in E3, man? Do you think it kills the vibe, or?
I think some of the leaks serve two different purposes. Like, I am a proponent to believe that the Scorpio leak was made on purpose. I think that was just to kind of generate a little bit of buzz because you have Nintendo talking about a new console, you have PlayStation talking about a new console, and I would have loved to have Microsoft just jump on stage and be like, bam, we got some new shit. But I think sometimes they do that shit to kind of test the waters a little bit. Let's see what everyone else is thinking. I may not be right about that, but that's just my own personal belief. But I think some of the leaks, like, I like the element of surprise, and that's why I've been kind of like slowing back and easing off of Twitter a little bit coming up to E3 because I want to be surprised. And I think for the general person, they want to be surprised at E3. When we watch this from our homes and where we're streaming this from our fucking phones, we want to be able to be like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. Holy shit, like backwards compatible last year was like a big thing. I thought that was huge. I had no idea that was coming. I wasn't, I wasn't on Twitter.
That was Megaton last year, man.
Yeah, and I mean, it was. And like a lot of people try to downplay it, but I mean, it's like one of the most talked about things when it comes to Xbox right now. Mm-hmm. We talk about back compact titles all the time. You can see like how like when we talk about like that Red Dead Redemption leak that came out, it being backwards compatible in the year, yeah, and even the Call of Duty stuff. I mean, like it's huge, It's talked about all over the internet, and those things they fly off the shelf again, and it's like it just respawns that game again. So I want that feeling again for this E3. I would love for Microsoft or even Sony or any other, person that's going to be there just to come out and surprise me with something that I was not expecting to see. So yeah, I mean, I think the leaks it's a big deal. I think they do a lot of controlling. I think most companies try to control that as much as possible, because when you leak stuff like that, it's like it takes money out of your pocket. Like, had we not heard about the Scorpio, and the Slim came out, I think the Slim would probably sell a lot better. But now, because people think that people have a sense that another console's coming out next year, they may not buy the Slim this year.
True, good
because
point.
Of that. So they're losing money off of that,
That's true. Good point. Good point. So, Livewire, what's your opinion, brother?
All right, I'm about to go all the way live.
Uh-oh.
So, the way I look at this is leaks are, kind of looked at as like foreplay for sex. No, I mean, sometimes they gotta be like, yo, guess what? This console's coming out. You gotta tweak your nipples a little bit and shit. Like, guess what? I think some features are coming out. Gotta suck on your neck a little bit. Like that's basically what leaks are. Like they basically get you hyped for what's gonna. Cause think of it, without leaks, like say if they just announced it. Not saying it wouldn't be great, but it'd be just like climax, but no build-up. So, I mean, to me, I like some foreplay because that shit hits you like, wow! You be like, oh, shit. But without it, it's just like, yeah, I'm good.
You just roll over.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. So that's basically what it is, man. Like, the leaks are like, basically foreplay, man. It just like gets you hyped for it, and you're just more excited. So when E3 hits and they show all the shit, now granted, it's disappointing if some things that you got hyped for aren't showed. Like last year when a lot of people were hyped for that football game that never,
that Joe Montana that never worked out.
That was like a tablet,
game,
whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That was like a dude telling a girl, be like, girl, I'm gonna rock your motherfucking world, and pulled his dick out. It's like a little nub and shit. She's like, what the fuck? She's like, this is some goddamn bullshit. I'm telling all my motherfucking friends about you. You ain't shit. Like that's basically what happened, man. Oh man, that shit. I'm still hurting, man. Who the fuck was that motherfucker again? God damn it.
Oh, about that Joe Montana shit, man.
Joe Montana. I think Joe Montana even tweeted it out too.
He tweeted about he was on Microsoft.
Yeah, he tweeted it out.
Yeah, everybody kind of took it and ran with it. Man, okay, let's go ahead and get to you, Mr. Megative, about the leaks, man. As far as just how do you feel like the negative impact or positive? I know they have both, depending on what type of leak it is. But go ahead, brother. It's your opinion.
Well, I mean, given my past, I was an interrogator in the Marine Corps, so I like leaks. Like if you're gonna leak me some information, that's cool. I don't mind. I really don't mind them. It's sometimes the anticipation of the thing is almost as exciting as the reveal or actually obtaining it. And honestly, like when these leaks happen, yeah, they affect guys like us, but they don't affect the mass market because the mass market isn't listening to these podcasts. They're not on Twitter or NeoGAF, going, oh my God, Red Dead Redemption 2, what? It's just, they're not doing that. And most of the core audience don't even watch E3. I mean, E3 is a show, or Gamescom is a show for guys like us, guys in this podcast. So I don't think they have this huge, and besides, I mean, you also get into the arguments about whether or not the leak is legit. I mean, for example, that Parasite guy we all know was full of shit about the fucking, what is it, like?
Secret sauce, man.
The secret sauce, the fucking 10 teraflops, and the Xbox, whatever it's going to be called. And it was the same deal for the guy who said, there's the PS5 Novus or whatever it was called, that stupid bullshit. It's a leak straight from the source. No, it's not. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, it's you should take every leak with a grain of salt. But I think it's fun. I like it. But then again, I'm kind of predisposed to like stuff like that. So that's just me.
For sure. All right, Enrique, you up, brother? Before we get out of here,
I gotta be honest with you, man. It's hard to follow up with what Live said, man. Live, actually, that was the best analogy of leaks.
That was good.
That was perfect, Live. Seriously, the whole the reference to, I think you said something about nipples or something.
I'm horny right now. I don't even know what
God, yeah.
But I thought that was perfect. Though. That was great. But you know what? I think it's to garner excitement with the core fan base, and the only thing that I would say is just don't get too overexcited, especially if it sounds too good to be true, because you don't want to get disappointed. But like John was saying too, a lot of casual gamers really don't follow E3, don't listen to these types of podcasts, so they really don't kind of follow this stuff. It's more the hardcore gamers, the ones that are listening to podcasts, that are following E3, that are taking a day off from work to watch the press conferences and stuff. But yeah, they definitely serve a purpose. I mean, they're there to generate hype and get people excited about the show and about their favorite software makers and console developers or console manufacturers. And but again, the only thing that I would say is just be careful with some of the leaks that get out there, because sometimes they are too good to be true. And I know I've been disappointed many of E3 with believing some of the stuff that was leaked and didn't end up happening. But I think we're going to see some really big announcements from some of these conferences this year. I think this is going to be a really exciting year for gamers this year at this E3.
Yeah. I think we generate the hype, though. I think that's what it is. Like when we get hype, and say you see somebody that knows, like they're interested in a console, but they don't really know too much about it. You're like, oh shit, it has this and this and this. Yo, look at all this shit. This shit is fucking crazy. Like they're like, oh shit, I gotta get that shit. Like, like that's basically what it is. Like we generate the hype from ourselves onto them, and it's just an energy that becomes infectious. Like the same thing happened with the Kinect, the original Kinect. That shit sold 10 million of those fucking things, man. It's not because they were showing that shit on TV like that. People were hyping that shit up.
Yeah. Same thing with the Wii U. I don't know why people were hyping up either PS Move or Kinect, because they were both straight trash. Like
the Wii U, they hyped that shit up too.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah, terrible.
They're fucking tearing their hips up.
It's all terrible.
All right, everybody. So it looks like we're down to the end of the show, man. Got some great topics in. Got some bunch of people in here rocking out with us. Like I said, once again, shout out everybody in the chat. Crap Gamer, Crusader in here. He always stops by and causes trouble. Beastfire, everybody in there. Chicken Spaghetti, Firefox, She-Wolf, everybody for rocking out with us here today. And so it looks like we're gonna go ahead and close out everything. Appreciate you guys rocking out with us. We'll go ahead and go around the panel as I always do. Let everybody know where they can find you. We're going to start with our special guest, Mistermegative. Let everybody know where they can find you. I know you did that at the beginning of the show, but some new people filtered in.
I can't get over being called that, man. I'm sorry. But so you can find me on Twitter at Mistermegative with an M, not an N. There's a weird, funny story behind that nickname I'll get into if you ever want to ask me about it. You can find us every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Super Deformed Games Cast. Like I said, we have there's no console wars, no fanboys allowed on our podcast. We have PlayStation 4 gamers, Xbox One gamers, Wii U, PC. I mean, everything is represented. And we've actually had a few big guests on our show. We just in the past 2 months we've had Jason Schreier, Mike Huber from Easy Allies, formerly Game Trailers. We're having Kyle Bossman on the week after E3. We did an on-air interview with Housemark, who's the developer of Resogun and Alien Nation. And we're actually trying to get Adam Boyes on the show right now, so hopefully he'll be coming on soon. We have a lot of fun. You can find us on YouTube. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Especially subscribe. We would really appreciate it. And that's it. We're a bunch of really cool guys. We love to engage with our fans. We do giveaways, so come check us out, please.
For sure. Glad to have you on, too, man. Glad you took some time out today. And
it's an honor, man. Like I said, I like what you guys are doing here. It's a great podcast, so I really appreciate the opportunity to come on.
No problem. Enrique, go ahead and give yourself a shout-out, brother. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Absolutely, man. So I do a podcast every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, called the Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. And, just a group of guys get together. It's me, Alka Holocaust, and Eric Jackson, who's a senior writer over at EXLGaming.com. We get together, just shoot the shit, talk video games. John is I would say almost a regular guest of ours on the show.
Podcast, man.
Yeah, but we just get together and just talk games. I mean, that's what we're passionate about. It's what we love doing, and we're also working on getting some guests on as well, probably after E3. hey, if you want to give us a sub and a like, we definitely appreciate it. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at Aries Gamer. That's AREEZGAMER. And again, man, we love having fun and shooting the shit and talking video games.
Sure, glad to have you too. I know you came in a little late, man, but yeah, for sure, always welcome, Enrique.
Yeah, no, definitely PTK, man. I definitely appreciate you having me on again, man. Again, I'm a fan of what you guys are doing, and keep up the great work, man.
Will do. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my GKB, my right hand man, my brother from another mother. Go ahead and give yourself a shout out, GKB, you and your lady, because I know you guys are one in a pair. So is he there? Okay, looks like he may be talking. So he'll be back here in a minute. But go ahead, Predator, give yourself a shout out.
Hey, you guys know me. I've been on this show the last couple of weeks, actually last couple of months now. So
yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter. My screen name is @Predator_H20S. I also have a YouTube channel, Xbox After Party. You can find the link on my Twitter page as well. And I'm looking forward to game night tonight with GKB and She-Wolf. I think we're playing Halo tonight.
Nice.
I'm thinking about that shit too, man. God damn it.
I'll be doing some recording. I'm gonna try to live stream it from my my YouTube channel if you guys want to tune in. But I'll probably be getting killed a lot from Xbox. I put a code in the chat earlier for Dark Souls 1, the backwards compat title for Xbox One. Hopefully somebody grabbed that. And I'm looking forward to E3. If anybody's doing a podcast for E3, I would love to jump on just to sit back and chit chat with you guys while we're doing it. But
I am.
That's gonna be like crack.
Yeah, I am. So I'll grab a few. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I'll grab a few of you guys because I'll be doing one. But yeah, GKB looks like you're back now. So go ahead and give yourself a shout out, brother.
Oh yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Oh, you good? You good?
Yeah, it's GKB. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube. Gamers Knows Best. Yeah, like Predator just said, we're doing the community game time tonight. We do it every Saturday. We like to take the community, come hang out with a bunch of YouTubers, have a great time. We're playing some Halo, so it's going to be a great time. Also, catch us on Console Corner on Tuesday, Xbox Nation on Wednesday, and then back on the Shop Podcast, man. Big shout out to She-Wolf.
Yeah, that's your wife. GKB, that's your wife, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, dude. That's cool. That's cool. You're I can speak. It's really cool to have to be married to somebody who loves gaming just as much as you do.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's definitely awesome.
My wife is upstairs. My wife is upstairs playing Overwatch right now.
Nice. We have a lot of arguments about who's a better gamer, so.
Who's got the higher gamer score?
There's no argument in this house, but.
Yeah, for sure. No, but before I move on to you, Live, I want to do something too. I want to let GKB and She-Wolf know how much I really appreciate what they're doing. We met a few months ago. Not a few months. It's been 6 months, 7 months now, and December, they are doing fantastic. I want to give a shout out to them. They're closing in on 1,000 subscribers.
Nice.
They've literally gained like 700 subs in like 4 months. It's crazy. Like it's a phenomenon, and I'm really proud of them. I just want to let everybody know. Please go support their channel. Please do. They got great content. They're really good for gaming. They're just a great couple. They're like family to me. So if you haven't already, please go check their channel out. It's Gamers Knows Best on YouTube. They are doing the game night tonight. I will be doing that. I didn't get a chance to do it last week, so my ass will be on tonight playing some Halo 5 with my buddy. But I just wanted to let everybody know that I appreciate you guys, man. And you guys are doing a great thing there with the channel, and I feel like really proud about it. You know, you guys are doing great. You know, good friends, close family. So.
And BLAM, I gotta give you a lot of credit for that too, man. Like you took a chance on me, getting me on the podcast and stuff, man. So. Much respect.
Don't make me cry, man. Get this shit out. Get it out.
You're my brother, man. I love you, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. But let's go ahead and get in the live, man. We always save you for last every time you on, man. We can't nobody go behind you. So go ahead, Live.
Man, this shit is crazy, man. I love being on the show, man. Thanks for letting me on. And yeah, much love to my wife. She allows me to get on. She's not a gamer. That's on purpose, because I'm a sore loser and I can't lose arguments and video games at the same time. You can't be telling me, I just can't. Like, can't argue me down and then at the same time whoop my ass in Halo and then just be like, you lost. You fucking lost. You suck.
I can rub my nipples.
Can we go to bed? Nah, because I murked your ass like 15 times. What the fuck are you doing? You got nothing but assist, motherfucker. Like, oh shit. I'm sleeping on the couch, goddammit. So much love and respect to y'all for the fact that you can actually be married and not be so competitive as far as like wanting to throw a motherfucker out the window because they beat you at everything.
Sure, let everybody know where they can find you, man.
Oh yeah, you can check out my channel, Livewires Gamer. I didn't do anything this week, man. It was a fucking rough week, man. There's a lot of work to be done. But I'll have some shit up. Hopefully I'll be on for E3, God willing. And yeah, man, back next week wait, are we back next week? What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, we back next week, G.
Yeah, E3.
Right before.
All right. We
before
back
E3.
next week. Same place. Yeah, check us out. This is motherfucking live. Don't go nowhere. Xbox community, the shit. You fucking weirdos. Eat a dick, die slow, bitches.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! Yeah, that's. All right, everybody, let's get the fuck out of here. But somebody call the police on.
I'd rather not eat any dicks, but that's.
No, we just joking. We just kidding around. But yeah, appreciate you guys coming out. Appreciate the love and support. You too, once again, Mega. I appreciate it, brother. You taking the time out of your day to come on the show means a lot. I know you guys are doing great things. I know I'm sub, and I will be watching. You guys catching up with you. I may not get to watch your podcast live because my work schedule, but I definitely will catch up on all your videos, brother, for sure.
Hey, PTK, I got one more thing to say before we go.
Yeah, sure.
Really, thank you so much for letting me be on your podcast. I really am speaking for the whole group when I say that everyone had a good time. Thank you. Yes.
You gotta do some Vito Corleone, man.
Yeah, we'll catch that. I like to keep my shit close to an hour. We'll catch that. We'll catch that. But I appreciate all you guys, man, in the panel here. Thank you guys for rocking out with us on this beautiful hot-ass Saturday afternoon. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, catch my show will be next Saturday also, too. I'm going to do a live show during E3, pre and post. We'll probably see GKB, Predator, probably a lot of the guys that are already here will be live during that live show on E3. So catch us there also, too. And I appreciate you guys so much. Please rate, like, and comment. Subscribe also, too, if you like what we're doing here. Thank you guys for joining us, and we're out of here, man. Take it easy, everybody. Have a great Saturday. Just come and join us also too in Halo 5 if you're not doing nothing after the podcast.
Yeah, man. That game is
sweet. All right, everybody. We out of here. Y'all take it easy.
Take care of your fellow gamers.
Yeah.
Word.